Well, temperatures have plummeted. It's freezing out, which means one thing. I need hot cinnamon candy. This recipe is super easy. It just takes a little time because sugar takes so long to get to the hard crack stage, which is 300 degrees. But in the end, it is so worth it. So I need 3 3/4 cup sugar. Sounds like a lot, but it is candy after all. Alright, sugar. Now, some corn syrup, light. You don't want to do dark because you want this as clear as possible. It just looks better. Even though you put red food dye in it, it's like, it's a specific looking thing. 1 1/4 cup. Put this lid back on here. Stuff is so good. Okay. So that'll be 1. I mean, you can't get every little bit out, so you just add a teeny bit at the end to just compensate for the lost, you know, tablespoon or whatever leftovers. And then 1 more quarter. A lot of people believe that it's like, oh, whatever, just throw it in, but it is important to measure, as I do this like totally randomly. But measuring is like, these recipes have been, you know, tried and tested for so long. You just have to trust the process of what other people have done for us. And what I normally do with almost any recipe is go through, you know, if I find an ingredient or if I'm looking for a specific recipe, I'll do a thing where it's like, okay, I'll look at the ones with the top ratings on Google or whatever, and then from there decide which one I'm going to either use or which ones I will combine. Because sometimes it's like, you know, add this little other element which will elevate, and that's what I'm always looking for. Okay, so heat on. I'm gonna do like a lowish in the beginning because I don't want this to scorch. Not good to do with candy. 1 cup of water. So these are 1 cup, 2 cups. I found these at like, I don't know, Marshall's. But I tested them for the measurement and they are 1 cup, 2 cup. Which I think is so cool because they're just pretty and they make me feel good about what I'm doing. 1 cup. And I'm gonna let this just warm a little bit. And before it gets hot, I'm gonna stir it together. Because if you stir hot sugar, it'll crystallize and get grainy. And I want clear when I'm done with my candy. So that's good for now. I just need a little baking tray, oiled up. And I'm just going to sort of smear it. This is a quarter sheet. Should fit right on here. It'll make a thicker candy, but I'm fine with that because sometimes I don't like those. If you spread it out too much, like in a bigger pan like this, which is a half sheet, you end up with like little glass shards. We don't want that going on. We want bigger pieces to suck on. I mean, that's what's the fun about candy, right? That's done. All right, we're getting there. All right, now I have a candy thermometer somewhere hiding in here, and I have to find that here. So I have to get this up to 300 degrees, which is going to take a while. So I'm not going to record while this is heating up, but we'll be back when we're close. This is my cinnamon oil, and this stuff is very pungent, and you actually, they tell you on these recipes all this stuff, but you need ventilation when you use this stuff. I mean, it sounds like poison, but when you pour this out, your eyes start to burn. It's intense. It gets in your nose and your sinuses, cleans you right out. But beware, okay? Make sure you have ventilation, you have a big enough room, a fan going, that kind of thing, because this stuff is intense. And then I always use these little bottles of Chef Master. This is the gel food coloring. I really like this much better. It just doesn't dilute anything, doesn't make things feel wet. You know, when you add food coloring from those little bottles, a lot of times you put it in frosting or in icings and this kind of thing, and it just like wets it down, and then it takes that much more to get the icing to look the color you want, and before you know it, you just have this like slop. This stuff is really highly concentrated and only needs a few drops. It says a teaspoon. It's way too much. I would say less than half a teaspoon, maybe a quarter, maybe a half, something like that. But it's the red, super red, which I love because it makes it so intense. All right, we're gonna hold off until we get to about 295. So we are at the stage where the temperature is about 210 to 220, and this is where it just goes at a standstill for like 15 minutes. It's outrageous how long it takes to go from 220 to 300, but it'll get there, and it just takes a little bit of patience. You just have to keep your eye on it. You don't want scorched sugar, but it'll get there, and we'll get back to it. It's been almost 15 minutes, and the temperature has gone up like about 5 degrees. It is so slow, but it's kind of mesmerizing watching what this sugar is doing, because basically what's happening is the water that you've put in here is evaporating as it boils, and then as it boils it concentrates, and the concentration is what lets the sugar get up to temperature. So the process, you know, it's a process. It's what it is, but it's fun, it's interesting, a little dangerous, probably, yeah. But you know, in the end, you got a big dish of candy, and we're gonna coat it in powdered sugar too, so it doesn't stick to itself, because we have to smash it too, which is so fun. So, all right, we're gonna go on a little pause, and we'll be right back.